All right, everybody. Today we're discussing the Mount Rushmore of tag teams. And believe me, this one was difficult. My goodness, I finally narrowed it down to my four, but man alive, have I I've put people on and I've taken them off, and I've had enough time to think about this. And I'm still not sure if I got it right, but this is my opinion, and we'll see what you think. So I'm going to start out my Mount Rushmore tag teams with, two of the most important members of the Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson.
Tully Blanchard, the enforcer, Arn Anderson.
I think they are the epitome of heel tag teams. They were just, they worked in unison together. My goodness, they had it all. They had the promos, they had the in-ring work. They were vicious when they had to be. They were chicken shit when they needed to be. Whatever it took to hang on to the belts, man, that's what those guys did. They were the classic heel tag team. That's tag team wrestling 101. Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson. Coming in at number three, I'm going to go with the Midnight Express.
In fact, I'll amend that. He's a freak, period. Let me tell you, Paulie Dangerously, he's got this.
Now, the Midnight Express, my goodness, with Jim Cornette as their manager. Again, another just amazing heel squad, right? You can't have a good babyface without great heels, and Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane were phenomenal. And then you throw Jim Cornette in there, the equalizer, not the equalizer, but just that guy that was all you knew at some point was going to get involved and turn the tide somehow in favor of his team. He always had the tennis racket and was just I put Jim Cornette on my Mount Rushmore manager. So I guess his team made it too. The Midnight Express, just classic tag team wrestling, and I don't think you have the Midnight Express without my number two, the Rock and Roll Express.
Underrated tag team, and here's one that I know very, very well. That's Ricky Morton.
The feuds that these guys had were just, they went on for years, and they were always so entertaining, and you could, the heat was palpable, that you could feel it between the Rock and Roll and the Midnight Express. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, man, and was there a better selling babyface than Ricky Morton? I tell you what, it was just fun to watch those guys sell and get that hot tag and just absolutely blow the roof off of a building. And they put a lot of asses in seats, those two teams together. They were magic together. So those are my 2 and 3. Now, before I reveal my number one tag team of all time, I need you guys to go down to the comments and let me know what your Mount Rushmore tag teams are. I'm sure there's a plenty of you that have, there's no way, I'm out of my mind. You can't have those guys on there. You can't put these guys on here and leave those guys off. So go down to the comments, give me your Mount Rushmore, and we'll see how everything compares. Now, getting to my number one. There's a lot of teams that I had to leave off. And like I said, I'd put them on, and then I'd say, oh man, I forgot about these guys. And then, it was crazy. I didn't think it would be nearly as hard to come up with a Mount Rushmore of tag teams as it was. So I've got my Mount Rushmore I got a front side to my Mount Rushmore, and I got a complete backside of my Mount Rushmore. And there's going to be a lot of people that are really pissed with my list, but hey, that's what makes this fun. That's why we all get to have our own opinion. That's why we live in America. So you too can choose your Mount Rushmore tag teams. All right, man. My number one, there's no pop like a Road Warrior pop. The Legion of Doom. The one tag team that could sell an arena out by just putting their name on the card. There was, within the business, when you go out and you got a great pop, people would come back and say, man, that was a Road Warrior pop, because there was nothing like the pop of an arena when the Road Warrior music started. Those guys were mythical almost with the mystique and the look and the spikes and the paint, and just two big jacked up dudes from Chicago laying waste to everyone. I mean, the Road Warriors drew huge money. And, and all those teams really, they're all synonymous with each other. They all worked with each other, and man, just phenomenal teams. And you know what? I could flip my Mount Rushmore around and I could give you 4 more phenomenal teams. So again, that's my 4. I'm going to go again, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, and the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, my Mount Rushmore of tag teams. Now let me see yours.